Today we're going to be talking about performance anxiety and how to take care of it for good. If you get something out of this video, please like and subscribe so you can get updates on the channel, and it'll also help me get it out to more men who need this type of content. I also do some one-on-one coaching, so if you do want some extra help, there's a link down below on how to get a hold of me. All right, stick around. Cam here, and today I'm going to be talking about performance anxiety and how to take care of it permanently. So this is a big topic, and I'm going to get into a lot of different ways. And if there's one that you in particular you'd like to see more detail on, then leave a comment below. Let me know what you get out of this. I'm making these videos for you, so if you want something or there's something you've had questions about, go ahead and comment below and let me know. So let's talk about what causes performance anxiety. And basically what performance anxiety is that something is preventing you from experiencing sex because your mind is focused in the wrong place. And this is probably not the explanation you're going to hear from most people, but basically when you're dealing with performance anxiety, the only problem is where your focus is. And what you're probably focusing on is, am I going to make her come? Or am I going to lose my dick or lose my heart on? Or a lot of different things that are just unnecessary, unhelpful thoughts. And it sounds stupid, but the easiest answer to performance anxiety is to just stop thinking about those things. So if I tell you right now to think about your favorite thing, you can think about it and you can put your attention on it and you can make it go there. If I tell you to think about somebody who annoys you, you can intentionally choose to do that. You have control over your mind. But when you are having performance anxiety, when you're trying to have sex with someone, what's actually happening is that your mind is controlling you. Your mind is making a decision about what to think about and where to focus instead of you. And so it sounds really simple. I know it sounds really simple. It's not as easy as it sounds. So good tactics, ways to deal with this are intentionally focusing on pleasure, like noticing if you're notice what you're paying attention to. If you notice that you're thinking, just by noticing that you're thinking thoughts like, am I going to lose my boner, make it easier to move away from them. The problem is that you're thinking about those things and all you're doing is just believing that they're real. And so if you can recognize, okay, my mind likes to think about these things while I'm having sex, and then just the fact that you recognized it makes it easier to focus on something else. And the place that you want to bring your attention is to the pleasurable sensations or the pleasurable experience of it. So sex is extremely pleasurable. There's emotional things that happen that are pleasurable. There's all the pleasures that happen in your dick. There is the smells and the experience of making a woman moan, or your partner, not everyone's going to be with women. Making the person that you're with, giving them pleasure is also something that's very pleasurable and causes arousal. And so you want to bring your attention to anything other than those thoughts, because it sounds weird, but what's really causing all the pain that you're going through, all those embarrassing moments where you lose your heart on, where you lose your boner and you have to face somebody and see that you're and go through that experience with them, the core of what's happening is literally just that your focus is in the wrong spot. And so one thing that I recommend if you have performance anxiety is to start looking at the things that you're anxious about. So different people are worried about different things. Some people are concerned that their dick isn't big enough. So some people are concerned that they're not good in bed, or that they're doing something wrong, or they're concerned about their appearance, or they're concerned that the other person's not having a good time, or just that they don't know what they're doing. So first of all, notice what's happening, because what you're afraid of is very important. Because the interesting thing about anxieties and fears is that almost all of them are not real. I don't remember who said this, but there's a quote by it's just a writer, and he says, "My life has been filled with terrible misfortunes, most of which never actually happened." And what he's talking about is just all the terrible things that he thinks about that never actually happen. And so I talk about this in my video on Venus Leak, which I'll link to up here in the corner. And basically, I talk about what causes you, when you have anxiety, to lose your erection. And there's a physical process that happens when you focus on something that you're afraid of. And it causes your body to lose your erection because erections are a relaxation response. And so you need to do what you can to relax. So the next thing is just make an effort to do relaxing things. If you can, before you have sex with someone, if you can give them a massage and then have them give you a massage, or the day that you're going to do it, just do things where you're really taking care of yourself and like hype yourself up, and just really like be positive with yourself about about being able to do this. That's going to help a lot. But I want to say that there's some way where you're going to magically go through performance anxiety where you're not going to have to go through an experience of losing your erection. And the truth is that I don't know anyone who's overcome performance anxiety without having have to do that. So the most important thing, if you want to overcome this for good, is that you have to be able to be gentle with yourself when it happens. So what's happening is that your body is afraid. When you have performance anxiety, you're afraid of whatever that thing is. Your dick being too small, your, not being good in bed, whatever that thing is, you're afraid. And so you have to treat yourself like you would treat somebody else who's afraid. If someone else is afraid, the worst thing that you can do is go up and be like, you're stupid, you're not a man because you're afraid, like get up there. Like that's not going to help the fear. And so treat yourself as if you're like a 9-year-old kid, because that's probably what's happening, is that there's some 9-year-old part of you that's stuck and afraid of what's about to happen. And so you have to be gentle with yourself when this happens. And then you just have to talk to yourself, be nice and kind to yourself, and help yourself understand that even when you're afraid, like it's embarrassing. Like losing your erection because you're afraid, it's embarrassing. And even if you don't lose your erection, it takes a lot of the enjoyment out of sex. But you have to give yourself credit. You're doing the best you can. It's not that you're stupid or you're bad or you're wrong or you're not a man. The issue is that you literally just have an uncomfortable feeling while you're having sex or while you're trying to have sex. And so when you let yourself open up a little bit and just be with that feeling, like actually feel that feeling of being scared and let it out. The issue is that it's stuck and you try to avoid it because it comes up, but then you try and force and you want to like continue to like be in the moment and still have sex. And then that feeling just gets ignored. Well, what I can tell you is if you let those feelings out, they'll stop bothering you. And the other thing is that all the feeling wants to do is it just wants to be felt. If you feel that feeling, you let it come out, and then you will start to recognize that all the things that it was afraid of were complete bullshit. It's not the truth, it's just how you feel. You can be mad at somebody, and what ended up happening is that you misunderstood the situation, and the thing that you were mad about was just completely wrong. It doesn't change the fact that you're mad. You really felt mad. And so a lot of times what's happening with performance anxiety is that you've set unrealistic expectations for yourself, or you've created some sort of mental construct that isn't real. And so if you want to deal with those feelings, just when they come up, you have to let them come out. And so what that can lead to, unfortunately, is sometimes you might have that feeling come up in a way that's bigger than you want during sex. I can tell you that it's very common for men who have performance anxiety, when the time that they finally like really make a breakthrough and start overcoming it, they cry during sex. And I know that's scary and it sounds like shitty and it's like, I don't ever want to fucking do that. But afterwards, you feel amazing. And for some reason, after you cry and you're just okay with it, the problem just magically goes away. It's incredible. I don't know why, but it's just gone. And then afterwards you look back and you're like, holy shit, I went through all of that just because I wouldn't let myself cry for like 3 minutes and go through an embarrassing experience. So if you want to deal with it, those are some really good ways. The last way, which is the thing that I get the most resistance from with my clients, but it's the thing that universally makes the biggest breakthroughs. If you ask me what is the one thing that I can do that will help me overcome this the fastest, that is talk to the person that you're having sex with about this. If you're afraid that your dick isn't big enough, as embarrassing as that sounds, if you talk to them about that, they will help you feel better. I mean, you do have to be selective about who you're hooking up with in order for this to be true, because there are people that if you open up, they're going to make you feel shitty about it. And if you're with somebody like that, first of all, that's not a good person for you to have sex with. But you're probably not going to believe me when I say that. But the other thing is that you're not being careful, you're not caring for yourself. So your emotions are important in that if you ignore them, they will make things in your life miserable. And so if you are able to open up and talk to somebody, especially the person who you're going to be going through this with, it allows them to nurture you. Because a lot of what happens with those fears and those anxieties is that you have some weird feeling that probably started when you were like a kid, and then it's just been ignored and beaten down. And what you really need is you need just one experience where that feeling is allowed to come out and someone nurtures you and makes you feel good about it and like helps comfort you. Because if that feeling feels comfortable and safe and it comes out, it's not a problem anymore. It just goes away. And ED is very deeply intertwined with these emotions. And if you avoid those emotions, you are going to continue to have ED. And I did absolutely everything that I could to avoid those feelings. I spent thousands and thousands of hours doing things. I spent lots of money doing things. And eventually I just got so fucking tired of it that I faced it. And when I faced it, it went away immediately. Like immediately. And it started with a conversation. So that's my advice to you. That's how to deal with performance anxiety. Make it never come back. I wish I had an easier solution. I wish I had a pill that was pain-free and easy, but that's the true answer for you. That's the one that I can give you that is honestly most likely to help you succeed. So I know that's not easy to do, and a lot of men are not going to be able to do it on their own. I work with men one-on-one. If you want some help going through this process, I'll be happy to be there and guide you. My website's listed down below, nopillsnosurgery.com. It's a way to get a hold of me. I also have some materials up there and ways to keep in contact with me. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, and look forward to seeing you next Sunday.